Ep.14 of the Pentagon Challenge on Football Manager 2013. Hopefully you guys are good. I'm very optimistic. If you missed the previous episode, we finally made it into the Super League, and I talked a bit about pre-season stuff, how I felt we were going, and I said that if we played well, we'd be able to challenge for a top 4 finish and perhaps even Champions League football next year. As it stands, this is the league table. I'll just bring it up for you guys so you can see it. We are currently nestled in 7th place. 3 wins, 5 draws and 2 losses. Could be better, could be worse. We've drawn probably a few too many games, but it's nice to get points on the board and really be able to say we look like we're going to survive this year, which is important. We need to stay in the Super League for as long as we can. We're not the biggest club in this league, so good start so far, very optimistic going forward. When teams play their games in hand around us, I expect us to be maybe 8th or 9th, but at the moment we're, I guess, in the top half technically, which is good to see. So moving straight on to the fixtures. Since you were here, we've obviously played our first 10 games of the season. We started off with an away game at Shandong, which was an interesting game to say the least. It was kind of one of these games where we fought well. We went 1-0 down, came back. We went 2-0 down, we came back. Good to see Zeus getting on the score sheet and Bin on his debut, their left winger, with a fantastic effort. Looking at the stats, you can see we probably got a little bit lucky to win the game, or rather get a point from the game. But overall, impressive performance by our team. Good to see us getting 2 goals on the first game of the season, especially away. Is something that you don't really, I guess, expect. It's when you go away first game of the season, especially when you've just gone up a division, to score 1 goal is good, to score 2 goals is excellent. Conceding 2 isn't ideal, but it's certainly something positive we can see going forward. So good link-up play there with our players, and then Zeus is there just to get nick in front of the keeper for the header. That was a really good goal for us. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold the lead for long, and just shortly into the second half, in the 55th minute, well-worked goal by them here. Good passing move and the long, lofted effort, just lob sung, just caught out of position. Very disappointing to be beaten in that kind of place, but one of those things. Fortunately for us, however, Bin gets on the score sheet. This guy on the left wing has been really impressive for us so far. Really showing some class with this goal. Coming up late, good composure, 2 defenders in front of him, finds the gap into the top corner. So that was a really good win. 0.1 rather. I've said that, done that twice now. And then we went to Beijing, and this game, I've never cried at a Football Manager game before, but this game brought me so close. So, Beijing IT, the small, plucky university football team, taking on Beijing FC, the biggest team in the city, the 4th biggest team in the country. Big game for us. And we lost 5-4. And you're probably thinking, 5-4, well, you should be happy with that. You'll see why I'm not happy with that in a second. But we went 1-0 down here. We're really trying to defend well. You can see here they're getting a lot of space. Beijing was a nice patient passing play, just working it around us, and I think that's Tai Cheng just finding space to, I guess, bury that effort. And then we went and we started to play well. We score here, I believe, off a counter attack, snatching away possession and then breaking really quick. Who scored this goal? Let's find out. It was Zeus. So Zeus scores this goal. Hunso, again, the architect. That guy has legs. He just runs for the country. And then good play with Kung Ho. And then it gets laid off to Zeus. Kung Ho this season has been a really good player. I think he bagged a brace this game. He's been a really inspirational signing. He was signed as an advanced playmaker for the team to give us a bit more creative freedom going forward in the centre. And he's certainly kind of lived up to what I needed him to do. But I think this is a goal here for him, if I remember correctly. Obviously, playing 10 games at a time, all the games kind of blur into one, but balls worked away around well here. And Kung Ho there with a powerful near-post finish, really showing his class there. He has been a top player. And then we scored a goal from this free kick. Hunso with the free kick hits the wall but gets the rebound, and 3-1 up, home and dry you'd hope, especially going in at half time at home. Anyway, shortly into the second half we went 4-1 up. Yes, I said 4. So Zeus here really breaking the offside trap. And I think he gets it in, and I think it might be Kung Ho. In fact, it is Kung Ho who gets the goal. And that made it 4-1. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, game over. I was wrong, and this is why. We made a mistake. I mean, Zeus makes a mistake there for a start, and then the defence is just caught napping, and there's space for the ball to come in, and it does eventually come in. I think Zeus might even make another mistake here. Dribbling with the ball, I mean, not really leaving our defence with much options, and we get cut out again, trying to play too much intricate football. That kind of situation, you just need to get it clear, and we didn't do that. So they score here, and I'm thinking 4-2. Oh gosh, 4-2 with 30 minutes left. Right, we'll just play defensive. We can contain them for this last 30 minutes. You know, we're not going to concede two. We're going to hold on here, and I was wrong. They score here. Disappointing by our defence more than anything for them just to get walking through the centre there. Too much space for Tai Cheng, and I was there like, oh god, this is not going to happen. And then a corner comes in, don't get it fully cleared, and it just ends up falling at Tai Cheng's feet again. I think that was his hat trick, and I was there head in hand thinking 4-4, oh gosh. And then they went and scored again. So they scored, and I nearly had a nervous breakdown this game. Looking at the stats, it was a very 50-50 game. Disappointing for us to lose, especially from being 4-1 up at home, but one of those things where we'll learn going forward. Anyway, we then went to Shenhua and got a 2-2 draw away, which was a good result considering we also had a player sent off. In this game, I think Zeus got on the score sheet again. Yeah, he did. He got 2 goals this game, and we went 1-0 up, we then went 2-1 up, and both times we conceded, and it was disappointing despite the sending off to concede a goal in the 90th minute. So we then went away to Lianeng, who came up with us last season, and we got a 2-1 away loss, which was very disappointing indeed. I can't cover all these games in as much detail as I'd like, just because there's quite a lot to cover. But then we came to Renhe, and Renhe have only lost 1 game this year, and it was this game against us. In their first 10 games, I think they've won 7, drawn 2, lost 1. So to get a result here was fantastic. But what made this result even more emphatic for me was the way our team went about getting this win. When you see how this game planned out, it was pretty impressive by us. We took our chances well. Stats were fairly 50-50. But anyway, right into the start of the second half, they scored, and I'm thinking, oh, 1-0 away, 1-0 at home. 1-0 away to Renhe. You know, they've not lost all season. This is going to be tough. And then straight from kickoff, they score again, and I'm sat there, head in hands, thinking, oh gosh, this is a mountain to climb. We just need to keep this respectable. But at the same time, there was something in my head kind of telling me, you know, you've got to just stick with this. We'd held on to them in the first half and probably had the better of the chances, and we'd definitely been creating stuff. It was just a case of taking our chances when they came, and as you'll see, we did a very good job of that this game. It was really impressive stuff by us. That was not impressive by us, that defending, but 2-0 down, and I was sat there thinking, oh gosh, this is bad. This is bad. But I stuck with what we had, and 3 minutes later we scored a goal, and this was a nicely worked goal from the goal kick. Zeus winning the towering header. Hunso, speedy poacher, just there, you know, sniffing the ball up, beating their covering centre-back and able to just get a nice tidy finish. 17 minutes later, good play by Kung Ho and Hunso, and eventually the ball gets cleared by them, but not completely. You know who's lurking there. Zeus is the guy. You can just see him in the centre, number 14. He's looking for that space. He's alive to the threat. And we work the ball well out of defence here. Bin Bin with a cheeky little run, being able to switch the play, and then Zeus is left with acres of space and a nice finish there, in off the inside of the post. Impressive finish from that kind of position, and that's what that guy's been doing for us so far this year. So at 2-2, well, I really wanted us to push on here, and it only took another 4 minutes for Zeus to find another chance at goal. Ball played wide to Xiaobin. Ball comes in, Zeus is there, who else is going to finish it but himself? That's where you want him. 2 goals in 4 minutes for him. 3-2 win against the team who was second in the league and were actually top at the time, unbeaten. Absolutely fantastic result there. We then went away to at home to Dalian, and we won 1-0 there. They got promoted the season that we managed to stay in the second division of the Chinese football league pyramid system. And then we went to Shanks, who also went up that season. So 2 good 1-0 wins against teams who are fairly new to the division themselves. And then in our last 3 games, we've drawn every single one. Very disappointing. I'm going to just show this Jiangsu one for the benefit of showing the highlights. In this game, we went 1-0 up, we then went 2-1 down, and we came back to draw, which has been a story of our game. We've definitely been a very determined squad this year, very kind of fighting to the end spirit about us. It's been disappointing that there's been a few games ourselves where we couldn't see them out to the end, but games when we've been down 1 or 2 goals coming into the last 10 minutes, we've really done our best, and a lot of the time done a good job of coming back into them and getting goals, and ultimately, you know, grabbing essential points, which will be very important come the end of the season. But anyway, ball worked well there. Zeus finding the space as he does as a target man. Good play by Hun So to find that pass and kind of, you know, hold up the ball there. Second half, having been 1-0 up for a good 30 minutes, they went and scored here. Very disappointing defending. You've got to feel when you've got 4 players in the centre like that guy cannot win that ball. I mean, 4 players surrounding him, nowhere ready for him to go, has one shot, gets deflected, and then he's there for the second ball, and that's just disappointing in general, really. But anyway, we went on pushing on for another goal, and we get hit on the counter here, caught in possession. You can see how we're playing. We like to push players up, but they're left in a nice 2v1, and Japan goes on some kind of crazy run, cuts inside in a nice tidy finish. Gotta credit that lad for that finish there. 2-1, I was like, right, well, we're going to have to go for a goal here, and it didn't take long for us to respond. In fact, it was only 5 minutes. You can see they've had a goal kick, we were piling on the pressure. Hun So with the ball, using that explosive pace and technique of his, and he just tucks it in neatly at the near post. So that's the results this, I guess, this season so far. It's been 10 tough games. Looking at the squad, you can see we're looking fairly solid, especially in the midfield area. That's an area which I'm really happy with. Defensively, there's a few changes to be made. So far as performances, you can really see here, Zeus has already got 9 goals in 10 games. Hun So, 4 goals in 9 games. And Kung Ho, who's the advanced playmaker, 3 goals in 8 games. Looking at the average ratings for so far this season, Zeus, Kung Ho and Hun So, you know, these guys are all quality players. I mean, Zeus, perfect target man, massive strength. He's banging in the goals at the moment. He's been a really impressive player for us, and he's improving like a lot so far this year. So it's really good to see. We then, of course, have Kung Ho, the playmaker who came in this year from South Korea. Fantastic creative outlet, this guy. He's only 18. Very encouraged by what I've seen, and he's improving a lot as well. I mean, looking at his stuff like his first touch, he's rocketing up in terms of his potential. So I'm very excited to see kind of where this goes. Look at his, I mean, look at them though. His stats are seriously just, they're developing at an unbelievable rate for a youngster of this age. And then, of course, we have our other youngster, Hun So. He's been playing as the speedy poacher. I'm currently training him to play on the right attacking mid. I want to try some alternate tactics, so I decided it might be worth just training him to play on the wing. He's improving a lot as well as a player. You can see his strength is going up significantly. Other areas have stalled a little bit, but you know, it's good to just see them ticking over, especially considering our training facilities. In terms of transfers, I've actually got 2 players coming in. These are 2 players who I've decided to take little bits of risks on, but I'm very excited to see what they can do. So the first player is Lucas. He's a centre attacking mid. Well, that's where I'm going to be playing him primarily. Very good player, going to be a good kind of backup forward. He's come on a free. Obviously, I can't see his entire stats, but from what I can see, he looks like a very, very good player, very good pace, or rather acceleration, which leads me to kind of assume he's going to have good pace. And he just looks like he's going to be a really good poach for us. And then we also have Wallace, who is a Brazilian centre-back, another Brazilian. He's got some nice solid stats. I decided to take a punt on this guy. He'll certainly be kind of an improvement on my current centre-back in Jong. But it'll be interesting to see how good he really is. You know, these are 2 players which I'm taking punts on, assuming their stats are going to be good. But I kind of have faith in, I guess, what I can see in them, that they're going to be good players for us. But anyway, guys, I don't want to ramble for too long. As always, thank you for watching the video. It really helps out, I guess, me if you could like the video. I mean, if you've watched up until this point, you know, it takes a lot of effort and time to play through these saves and stuff. So if you can just leave a like for watching to this point, I'll love you forever and give you an ice cream and stuff. But other than that, thank you for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed the video. And other than that, guys, I'll talk to you in a bit. It's me, Jack, signing off. I'm out.